Yo, what up? Day 2 of Mandarin. Today, I'm just gonna. I was looking at who, like the creators who make videos about languages, how they learn, because a lot of them make videos about multiple languages. They know a couple to proficiency, but a lot of them they learn a decent amount quickly. And I want to get a good baseline, so I wanted to figure out how I could get to a good baseline quickly. And one in particular, Laoshu50500, rest in peace, he had a method called the FLR method, which meant the fast learners roadrunning method. And he made a couple videos that are like really old. I'll link them if there's a playlist. If not, I'll just link the first one in the description below so you can find it. And it basically just gives a rundown of how he would go about using all these methods. And he used to sell programs too, but those programs were a lot more developed. This is pretty bare bones. So I watched the videos. I took some notes on what I needed to cover, and I'm gonna break it down in parts. So today we're just gonna talk about the first part, which is, I call it the FLR Mandarin trial, because I'm testing this out. I've tried it with some other languages when I wanted to learn them quickly. It went all right, but I didn't do too well. I mean, I wasn't putting enough time into it. I don't even think I finished getting all the responses finished, but I just finished this first section, so I wanted to make today's video about that. With the keywords for the roadrunning keywords are mostly conjunctions and adverbs. So these are your words like although, though, but, even if, even though, and so on. You can see these other ones, and the reason it's good to have these words as like a foundation is because when you start speaking, you realize you use these words a lot more than you think you do. That's why even I'm in AP Spanish right now for my school. Even when we get to that level, we start introducing many of these, and you need them early on. That's why at the very start of the year, she gave us a paper with like all of these on it, because you speak a lot more in that class than you do in the previous years. You speak entirely in Spanish the whole time, so you need to be able to communicate properly. And it's some of these things that you overlook because in writing sometimes we don't use all of these words. Like, we have other words for yet that we would use, or we just spam the word but over and over again. But see, in speaking, we like to use varied speech so that it gives us a higher sense of complexity in our talking and in our language, so that we don't sound like we've been studying for 3 seconds. So I'll try to link this text in the description with today's. Tomorrow I'll get the interrogatives going, so it's just like a couple questions, and questions that correlate to the who, what, when, where, how, and why. It's questions that correlate to that. But today we're just reviewing these ones. So I'll link these in the description, but I just wanted to explain the meaning of them. I don't know if these next couple of videos are going to be very long, because I'm really just going to be working through this page for the next like week probably. But if you like shorter videos, that'll be good, and it's just going to give a quick rundown, and then after I break down what each of these different segments is, how many more are there? There's one, and then just difficulties. So this actually shouldn't take long. I'll do interrogatives tomorrow, difficulties day after, and then we can start applying this into like smaller conversations. So I'll make a second tab right now of conversational practice, and this will be like an A-B format, where A is person 1, B is person 2. This is something you'll see a lot in language books, and just in general if you open up any textbooks that have conversations in them. If they don't use names, they use A and they use B. So anyway, I know it's a short video today, but didn't have much to talk about, just these keywords. And if I were doing this at home, like if I wanted to learn as well, I'd begin in this way by just writing down although, though, but, even if, even though, when, in particular when something happens, now, despite, to feel, only, just, therefore, perhaps, in order to, still, already, I think that, also, yet, other, simply, very, and, after, to me, / in my opinion, certainly, honestly, or, instead, however, always, and never. And so, and well, but not like you're feeling well, like you would use it as a conjunction. Like, well, I don't know about that. Anyway, if you get those down, this works for any language. All you need to do is use a credible translator. Don't use Google Translate. Maybe use like DeepL Translate if you're going to use anything, but double check everything because you don't want to make any errors or else you'll be learning incorrectly. Because I know with a different language, I did this for one of them, and I used, what did I use? I think this might have been, I couldn't find the proper version of well, so I put the incorrect one because I didn't specify it. So I was just learning the wrong version of well. And luckily, I didn't speak and use that word because that would have been embarrassing. Because we have so many different words for well. That'd be like if you ask somebody, what do you think? And he said like a wishing well in this case. If he said bucket, I'm not sure. Be like, why the hell did you say bucket there? Be like, bucket, I don't know. So it's important that you get things correct. It's a lot easier to have a teacher, but I like teaching myself because it feels like more of an accomplishment if you do something on your own. And if you watch this, if you support my content, if you like following along, and you want to learn this language more, stay with me here, subscribe, maybe even give it a like, you know? I'm almost done with this sickness. Still going to be making videos until it's gone. And thank you. Have a good one.